A protracted Afghan war has crippled the Afghan economy, so much so that half of the Afghan population is in dire need of fundamental assistance. The humanitarian wing of the European Union has said that the country would require additional aid for its people to meet the basic needs this year. And while the new Washington dispensation is mulling a review of the peace deal signed last year, a ramped-up Taliban offensive is making things worse with each passing day.
An overwhelming number of Afghans are succumbing to extreme levels of poverty and hunger every year, with millions of children, adults and elderlies failing to meet everyday calorie needs. A stagnant economy, compounded by a rising number of Taliban attacks, has ensured this gloomy situation for years, and the crisis doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. Kabul receives hundreds of thousands of dollars in aid every year, but that is just not enough to sustain millions of Afghans who cannot earn even a square meal per day owing to violence and unavailability of jobs. The COVID-19 pandemic has only added to the woes. Both unemployment and poverty has surged. A recent analysis by the European Union says that half of the country is in dire need of more assistance.
The humanitarian needs are rising globally and also in Afghanistan for various reasons, primarily because of the conflict, the violence as we see continues in the country, but also due to the pandemic of COVID-19 and other challenges, including the natural disasters that often affect this country.
The situation in Afghanistan has only worsened in the past 12 months. A report by the Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction says that there was a 17% rise in poverty in 2020, with the unemployment rate hovering at 38%. UN Humanitarian Affairs Office calculated that the United Nations will require an additional $1.3 billion in 2021 for humanitarian aid in Afghanistan, as the number of people who require assistance will have doubled compared to a year ago. While donors have pledged $12 billion in the next 4 years, the European Union has allocated an extra sum of over $38 million.
The situation of internally displaced people in Afghanistan is a matter of urgency. There has to be effective action to address their needs. The European Union is ready to help, also in this respect. The initial allocation of humanitarian aid by the European Union for Afghanistan for this year is €32 million. This is initial allocation. It may increase over the year, but with this allocation we have already reached more than €1 billion since mid-90s in humanitarian aid from the European Union to Afghanistan.
Meanwhile, a bipartisan report to US Congress hinted at the troops not leaving Afghanistan by May 1st, a date that was agreed upon by the previous US dispensation for complete withdrawal. It has asked for the extension and urged for contingent cuts only after confirming progress in peace talks and reduction in violence by Taliban. While it comes as a major takeaway from the Biden administration, it remains to be seen how Taliban, which blames US presence as one of the principal reasons behind the violence in Afghanistan, takes it.